Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon. This is X's in the U. This is episode number 43, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things. Yes, Adam, we will get to that too. But yeah, everybody, welcome. Greetings from San Francisco, home of the San Jose earthquake. So that's where I'm coming from, and you guys are coming from the city of brotherly love. So good to see you guys. Seba, Adam, how are y'all doing this week?
Doing great. It was a fun trip last weekend in Nashville with yourself and some of the Union fan. Not the result we wanted. We're going to talk about it, but it was fun to be there.
Definitely. Adam, how's your week so
Um,
far?
y'all looked fun. I was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, following my wife and my mother to every TJ Maxx on the Eastern Seaboard. But other than that, had a good time. I mean, look, I kind of enjoyed the soccer game that happened in Nashville until like the very last minutes of it. But hey, what can you do?
Hey,
But
you
other
get
than
the
that,
ma
well.
you get the max for the minimum. Well, why don't we get into the Union versus Nashville while we're at it? 1-0 loss. History being made. Cavan gets his first start, but the Union were missing six players. And that's a difficult environment in that stadium. That was my first time in that stadium, and we'll get into that when we talk about the trip. But yeah, we're missing Quinn, Nate. They were both with the U.S., and God, I wish they didn't do anything for the U.S., so we should have kept them. And then you've got Bueno, Ian, Ure, and Westfield are all injured. So, uh, but then again, and I'll get into Adam and then Seba. We're up a man, and how many times have we been up a man and we can't pull anything apart? So this game we dropped from first to third in the Eastern Conference, dropped out of the Supporter Shield lead, but we're only I think 2 points behind Cincinnati. So we're gonna see what's the result of this loss. But guys, who wants to go first on Nashville, the game itself?
I'll go. And look, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not a person who believes in true consistency the way that people like to talk about, like, oh, a team hasn't won in 85 years and therefore like they're cursed or something. I'm like, no, because if you it's like the conversation of if you change all the parts of a ship, is it actually still the same ship? Can you still call it the blank if you've literally changed every aspect of it? Same thing with rosters of sports franchises. If someone wasn't there in 2016, can you blame them for the issues of 2016? And I'm like, no, you cannot. This is just an individual kind of situation. All of that being said, the Union struggles with being a man up, or just kind of fascinating, honestly. The thing that really struck me, not only the 1-0 score, because I think people don't really take into account enough, especially in a second half yellow card, a red card, how the team that's down 10 men can just bunker. And they just create just a defensive shell, especially at home, all things considered. It's actually not that easy to score on a team in that position. You would assume it's a permanent power play, but when you change the tactics, add more defenders, it's actually a little bit easier to defend. And they won the way that most teams would win in that situation, which is drawing a penalty, because it's not going to be probably from, in player or just regular on-field goals. So it's the thing that really bugged me though was the fact that the Union only had 1% more possession during the game. And you were up a man for the better parts of a half hour. Like you only had one more shot on goal than Nashville, again, being up for the better parts of a half hour. So it's not so much the result as much as it just didn't seem like you took actually advantage of being a man up. It seemed at times it didn't really change the Union's mentality offensively as much as it changed Nashville defensively. And when you still have people who can give it a go in the last minutes of a game, you get a last minute penalty, smash and grab, you drop 3 points as opposed to probably getting 1 point that was almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I
Seba, yeah.
mean, I agree with everything like Adam said for sure, but we all know it was going to be a tough road trip, even if we had like our full squad, but we didn't. So we all know, from the get-go, but yeah, definitely disappointing result because being a man up, you were believing that okay, can we push to get the 3 points and get a win against Nashville and kind of stay us on top of the standing, but yeah, you can see that we're kind of like lacking a lot of solution and creativity in the final third. It was kind of we were moving the ball kind of slowly. I know it was very hot, very humid. I'm sure Matt can say that we were there, and it's not the best condition to play, especially when you're away. But again, we were 10. We should have, create more. We didn't, and it was kind of like my concern a little bit. It's how can we, create more and have somebody who take responsibility offensively to push more forward and get shot on goals that we didn't really see beside I would say like all the free kick and corner kick we have. It wasn't necessarily the most dangerous play for us, but yeah, it's the only question right now for me. It's like if we don't have all our starter, who can create, who can be, especially when you're away, it's kind of like a great test, for this team mid-season because are going to need to win those games in a playoff. And it's going to be against those three teams, which be probably Cincinnati, probably Columbus, and probably Nashville. Those three ones. And we're going to, of course, put Miami as well in it. But, Miami is Miami. It's a bit different type of game. But Nashville is a great defensive block, and they show it at 10. Very hard to break down. So can we be better at that? That's good. We have a couple of months to work on that. But yeah, it was a very disappointed because we know, and when you are at 10 against 11 against a team like Nashville, you should have minimum get the tie. It was a minimum, and at the end, it was a mistake defensively, kind of falling asleep. End of the game, everybody's tired. Everybody thinking that, oh, you got it, I got it, one mistake after another. And yeah, a PK to finish. It's always like that, especially against a team who play at 10. So yeah, it was disappointing, but I can tell you, like all the guys, were very quiet, silence on the plane back, and they know that they should have done better. So it's the first time we lost 2 games in a row this season. It may happen, but it's good it happened. I think now to get everybody back, everybody focused, and I think it's going to happen for now the rest of the season.
Yeah, and by the way, Adam Seba actually called exactly where that penalty kick was going to go. I was there. He was like he called it right up the middle.
It was
I just wish he had a
it was as cheeky as it wanted to be, and I'm like, look, man, Henny is Henny.
yeah.
That guy is going to go down as one of the better players who ever played in our league for good reason. I'm already seeing his statue get commissioned in Nashville as we speak, as it should be. So I mean, look, that's a tough one in every stretch of the imagination, but everything Seba said was correct too. Dudes are on the third stretch of a very long, very arduous road trip against three decently tough opponents. You can say what you will about Chicago, but Jack Elliott and them boys are not just going to lay down to you per se. But that's the thing, and I think what Seba said was 100% correct about you have to figure about the creativity, what's going on with this team. Is it just needing a 10, like an outright number 10 to fill the void of what you left with Daniel Gazdag? Is it getting more depth in that position? Is it just getting Quinn Sullivan back into the fold? These are a lot of questions we can figure out. I think something that really should be addressed when the transfer window opens up at the end of July here, we should at least look at something to add the depths of this. And I hate to say this, but we need to figure out this Chris Donovan situation because he just does not bring enough to the team at this stage to be a fourth striker on a team that's going for a Major League Cup. I mean, it just, or MLS Cup. It's not quite there for him. And I don't think he's a bad soccer player. I think if you sent him to the USL, he'd probably tear it up down there. It's just something about playing up here. It's just not clicking with him. And if we're going to be in a situation where Ura is out for whatever time period he's out for, Ty gets a knock, and Bruno, all things considered, is still getting acclimated, if you will, in the time period it takes to get into an MLS season. You need something that's a little bit more consistently offensively, and Chris Donovan just has not, in several seasons at this point, shown he could be that guy.
Yeah, and we're talking about missing guys. Nate and Frankie, if they were playing in Nashville, it might have been a different result. That's all I'm going to say about that. But speaking of Nashville, we'll touch on the trip. If anybody, I don't know if you're following on socials and everything, but we had a blast down there. And I got to give my flowers to one Mr. Sebastian Latou because he gave so much access and hung out at the roof. We had the rooftop party for the 4th of July, which was crazy in itself. Then we had he drugged Dave Leno and Shane into the tailgate and where Seba was giving out all kinds of swag. So that was great. And the game itself. So luckily we had some tickets where we could get in some air conditioning because it was hot. And Seba and I were sitting outside watching it and people kept coming in and out. And I could feel the air conditioning. And I'm like, man, I think the second half I might take a knee and watch it from inside, but no, the trip all in all was great. I want to thank the people that came out there as well as everybody from Philly Sports Trips to make it happen. And we're looking forward to another one. And Adam, we're willing it into existence. Save the date, October 1st. Austin. Austin advanced. So
You like taking like the cities that are the eighth circle of hell for most of the calendar
October,
year.
October 1st will be beautiful. October 1st.
October
It'll be
1st
great.
in Texas.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
still
be-
August in Massachusetts.
No, it's going to be great. Don't worry. But speaking of US Open Cup, let's talk about that great game against Red Bull. Oh, wait a second. It was Rainbow. Yeah. So, Adam, did you go? I know Seba was there. Were you in the rainstorm? You did not make it.
No,
I was out of town, so I was in Chicago at the time.
I had to do my actual other job with the Philadelphia Phoenix. We had practice up in Germantown. I was originally under the impression we were going to have practice at Newman, self-indulgent moment. So I was going to actually come probably about halfway through the second half and just kind of see the end of the game. But I was up in Germantown, so I knew I was never going to make it, nor was even going to make the attempt. But once we canceled our practice, I had a strong feeling Chester wasn't going to be a good time. And I had friends who were down there and friends who were now just getting into the union themselves, and they're like, we'll be back, but y'all got to figure out that parking lot. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bit of an issue. We still haven't figured it out in 15 years of being a franchise. But anyway.
I mean, I heard it was rain of biblical Forrest Gump type proportions. So I'm going to let the one person that was there tell us, Seba, what was it like for this match? I mean, did you
I
guys think it
mean,
was even going to happen?
I was a believer because you can see the cloud, coming toward Chester, and it was, when with the river, how it's divided in two sides, like the black
Yep.
cloud on one side and the nice side in New Jersey, and I was like, come on, go more, towards north. But no, he came to us. The team was able to, to warm up, even come on the field for the national anthem. But as soon as it happened, you saw some lining, and the referee, called the team back in. But yeah, it could have been a soccer game. It could have been even maybe a swimming pool competition because I'm telling you, the field was covered of water. I never saw like the entire field was just maybe 1 or 2 inch on water on it. So yeah, it was not possible. And if they play the game, they will have destroyed the field. So I think it was smart to, postpone. Now it's August 13, right? So it'd be okay.
August.
Yeah, it just maybe give a bit more rest to the team. But yeah, it was kind of nice to see that we had a lot of guys back for that game. And I'm sure, it's going to be pretty much the same starting 11 we are going to see on Saturday against the Redbull again.
Yeah, I was actually like, okay, they canceled it. This is actually good. We get a little bit of rest. There's time because everybody's like, why isn't it this week or why isn't it next week? And there's a little break in the schedule, and we get Red Bull, and then the next Open Cup match isn't until September anyhow. So why rush it and then play them back to back? And we'll preview Red Bull in a second. Guys, Club World Cup, it's heating up. Adam, look at this. I mean, this is going to get interesting within the pod. So Chelsea does win 4th of July. Uh, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG beats Bayern on July 5th. And that's basically what we're going to have is Chelsea versus PSG. Is that the 13th? Yeah, this Sunday in East Rutherford. So, Adam, we all know deep down, Seba is a PSG fan. Deep down. So this might be pod on pod crime. Oh, look at the screen, Seba.
What is
Adam's
that?
repping
Monaco?
mighty Chelsea. Mighty Chelsea.
I have both jerseys. It's a confliction of hearts. I am a not as strongly a PSG fan. I'll safely say that much because Chelsea actually predates my affection for the Union. But I have be after my several trips to Paris and my love of the French people, I've adopted PSG as one of my other clubs, and I was very happy for their Champions League success. And now I'm gently conflicted, or as the great Sean Connery once said, I'm playing both sides. So, yeah, cool. Whoever wins is great. That's great. I love it. I would prefer Chelsea gently more, but cool. Whatever. Club World Cup.
It might be one of the better matches that I thought was going to happen out of this. Maybe I'm biased because of Chelsea, but we're going to see. Seba, your thoughts? Do you think PSG can pull it off? I mean, this isn't a a League
I
One
mean,
team they're playing
I
around with.
think PSG has been the best team all year long, you know. They're pretty incredible the way they play, like, winning 4-0 against Real Madrid. Like, come on. It's, it was already 3-0 after 20 minutes. I know, yes, Real Madrid maybe did mistakes or whatever, but, at the end, I don't care. But it's just funny because, you have Miami losing, 4-0 against PSG as well. And you have Zlatan, who talk and be like, oh, Messi, is playing with cones. He doesn't have his teammates are in cement. They cannot move. So I would like to know what he's going to say about Real Madrid team, and say, what type of teammate, I don't know, Mbappe has or Vinicius Junior because, I guess they're in cement as well. It's just funny, PSG is just above everybody. So it's been a fun game. It's a final. I'm sure they're all exhausted. Playing in New York is gonna be hot, but yeah, it's fun. I'll be watching. I was thinking of going, but I might probably be in front of my TV.
That would be a fun game to go to. Coming up soon, August 2nd, Frankfurt's coming to Union. The only news I have, I think some Frankfurt supporters might be doing a little co-tailgate with the Sons of Ben, but details are working out. I'm looking forward to that game. I don't even know if I'm in town, so I'm not sure. But yeah, get your free ticket for the Union Frankfurt. League news, MLS All-Star Game. Speak of seventh ring of hell, Adam. July 23rd in Austin, Texas. I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on that one. October 1st, I would do. July 23rd, nope. And I guess let's get into it, Adam. You were right. We were wrong. Dosi Uno. Mexico wins. But we weren't really outplayed. But was that a bad call? The handball? You tell me, Adam.
Look, I had a gentle discussion with a couple of people, and a couple of people who I follow on social media had some mixed reviews on the subject. Look, I think that's a handball. I don't really know what else it could be. Now, it wasn't called a handball. And I've lived long enough to know that I've been wrong more times than I've probably been right in my life about things. So there's probably some eighth rule in the 47th bylaw of one part of the manual that said just because he fell in that particular motion and it was incidental contact, it doesn't qualify as a handball. And okay, but I think the overall point is you can't keep having this tournament in your own house and making it difficult for yourself to actually win it. Like, first off, I really need them to stop making it so easy for the Mexican national team fans to just make it to any of these matches in the first place. Because I know they're doing it for ticket sales because if they put it in Minnesota, no one's going to go to this thing. But like, it just kind of takes away half of the advantage you would have by hosting a tournament in your own country to begin with. But that goes besides the point. That team is not supposed to be the team that's going to be here in 2026. That is my only saving grace. And I believe that there are plenty of people from that team that you can take and put them on a team for 2026 and they will help. I think Diego Luna has the heart of any American who wants to suit up for the badge at this point. If you don't want to play like Diego Luna, I don't want you, you know. But outside, look, Matt Freeze, you're here. If they don't get you in the pool, I'm shocked. Because at this point, you've earned at least a conversation, you know. several other players I thoroughly enjoyed. And look, Pulisic and Weston and all those guys, when they come back, they're going to be in. That's how this goes. But there is something wrong with the U.S. Soccer Federation. I don't think we are ready to have, or no, we should be ready to have this conversation. I don't think we are because this should not be going the way it should be. This should be a golden age. This should be a golden moment. We should be on the fast track. We should be hype right now. Like the United States fan base should be excited about the team that they have going into the 2026 World Cup. And I have to be honest with you, Matt, or even can I honestly ask you this question? Would you have been hype about this team even if we won the game against Mexico?
I was starting to get hype during the run up to, but the win came right out of my sails after this game in Mexico, just watching the way they played, how they were outplayed. I didn't see a lot of team because at first I thought they were starting to gel a little bit. I didn't see that. And I didn't see any kind of hustle. I didn't really see any heart. So I was starting to get like, okay, maybe Punch is doing something. Now I don't have a lot of faith, but we're gonna see. It's gonna be like you said, it's gonna be a totally different team, more different guys coming on, but I don't know who is the goalkeeper.
But it's not going to be a totally different team, man. That's the fun part about this is because Jedi's still going to be there. Anthony's, I mean, like there's still elements of this. Richards, Adams, all those guys are going to be there for the World Cup, you would assume, because who's better than them in the United States right now? You can't point to anyone. So they're
No,
good. So a lot of these guys, and you're just going to add McKinney, you're going to add Pulisic, you're going to add Turner, you're going to add Way, and that's about it. That's the only thing you're going to really add. Because at this point, you're not going to have a phenom come out and be your number nine at this point. No one's going to come out of the pool of the U.S. camp at this point that we don't know about. There's no shockers. There's no, Josie Altidore is not walking through that door. So we're at this point now where this is the team that we have in a pool. And from that pool, we will find out who's going to be the 11 who starts and the 18 and all of that. But I just don't feel a confidence in any of these people I've seen that they can leave this continent and compete at a high level. And that's so disappointing to me because much like my Belgian friends over there, this should have been a golden era of US soccer. It was set up to be. They literally got a World Cup at home to have your golden era displayed amongst your people at a time period that they could watch. And this is what you give them.
Seb, I'm going to let you follow up your thoughts on U.S. Mexico and the hopes and dreams of U.S. soccer fans for World Cup 2026.
I mean, it's gonna be a different team, but they got the final. I watched the game, started very well, 1-0. You're like, okay. And yeah, I think Mexico was very good too, and they got dominated, that's for sure. But yeah, who knows? 1 year, it's still, a long way it goes. A lot of things can happen, but I feel like the motivation are going to be here because all the guys who are not here, they know that okay, we have a little chip on our shoulder, and we need to show, what we're all about, and they just need for me to kind of find this team spirit, that we don't see it yet because all the guys who play in this tournament, it was pretty much like not the first time, but for a lot of them, like first time they play in a big competition, so you need to know what is it. It's so different to play, national team than you play for your club. So, and you host the World Cup, so there's a lot of pressure. But yeah, they definitely need to find their way. And like I say, it could happen maybe a month before the World Cup. It could happen, you don't know. And it's what happened for France. I'm gonna read the story, but in '98 we had no expectation that we are going to win it. We're like, okay, we are in, we have a good team, let's try to get out of the group stage and then we'll see. But we can saw that, yeah, like I feel, there's like lots of documentary about it. And there's a very good one named, like Les Yeux dans les Bleus, which is Eyes in the Blues. And you can see really inside, you can see like more the tournament goes, how much more the player take, um, conscience that the entire country is behind them. And then you can see they just play their butts off and play as a team. Even if like when at the end we have what is his name? was it Desailly who got a red card or Laurent Blanc and he's not playing, the final, and we have Leboeuf who has to play center back uh, and play against Ronaldo, and they're all helping him, to make sure like he knows how to play against that guy, and but it's what it's all about. So hopefully this team spirit will come to the US, and like I say, they need to have a good group stage, and after the group stage, pretty much anything can happen because in a moment, and with the support and the energy of the fan, and hopefully an entire country will stop and watch them play. Anything can happen. You never know. So yeah, hopefully, I just want to make sure, like for them, everybody is healthy, and Pochettino and his staff, choose the right mix of player to make it happen.
It's going to be, as Adam, you say, winning the offseason. It's going to be a really weird offseason for the U.S. men's national team. So we're going to say, now, speaking of weird, we got it coming up on Saturday, Adam. Your rival. Oh, wait, they're not a rival. Red Bull coming back to Chester. They're coming back down the turnpike for hopefully good weather and an ass whooping. Who wants to go first for the preview of we are facing the eighth seed Red Bull, who are 8, 7, and 6 right now. So that's what we're facing. What are we thinking? Who wants to take this one first?
Don't
Go ahead,
sleep on
Adam.
them. You know,
You
don't
go.
sleep on it. It's not a trap per se, but I mean, like, look, they're rivalry games are rivalry games, and I think one of the things that the Union have to prepare for now is they're going to get a lot of teams' best shots. Like, yes, now they're in third place, but I think a lot of the league views them as a measuring stick for their own organizations. So I wouldn't take this off. I want to take this lightly. I would appreciate the rest that you got by not having to play on Wednesday. And look, if they come out and beat them 4-0, or they lose 2-1 or anything like that, I don't think my analysis changed. I just think, right now it's about getting healthy again and playing consistent, soccer in a way where getting guys into the fray, if you can get Bruno on the score sheet, let him see the ball fly into the net a couple of times, I think that'll help him a long way to get in acclimated to what we're doing here. But don't sleep on Red Bull, but also know that, at this point you should be able to, like, you have a very dominant streak over them historically over the last couple of years. You should be able to get 3 points right now. Both of these things are true.
Oh, we should definitely get 3 points, especially after the last two games. I think the guys are going to be motivated, and I'll let Seba get into it. I think we're going to get a lot of people back. Seba, you doing the radio?
Yeah, I'm doing the review with Dave, but yeah, it's what I kind of say in a show that you can see on Friday night at 11 p.m. on PHL 17. It's some things that the team, first time kind of losing two games. It was a long road trip. So I think everybody's probably very happy to get back home and get back to the basics. And I think you should see a reaction from the guys. I think you should see the same way as they want to play, aggressive, winning the ball high, try to score from the mistake of Red Bulls who, might play, out of the back. But it's just what I want to see, I want to see kind of a lot of pushing forward, opportunity in front of the net and try, yeah, like you said, Damiani getting back on the score sheet with Baribo, Quinn and Ariano coming back, hopefully help the team as well on the right side. And just, yeah, just see more energy than we saw maybe in the past two games away. I know some guys were tired, but it's, a great game to play against the Red Bulls. You all know the little derby. Red Bulls are going to have some fans. Red Bull is okay. It's a okay team. I think they just have two leaders with Choupo-Moting and their number 10, what is his name? I completely forgot. Um, the Swedish number 10. Anyway, he's going to come back to
Yeah.
me. Forsberg. There
I
you go.
just refer
Forsberg.
to him as Thor. It really helps.
Forsberg. Yeah. So like those two guys, really kind of carry the team a bit offensively, but then it's a lot of young guys who works hard. So can we match up the intensity? Can we show that, okay, we are back at home and, we mean business and we just want to be, another fun game against the Red Bull because one of the stats is like we are undefeated at home since 2019 against them, which has been a long time. And let's
Pre-COVID.
let's keep it going. It's I think it's a great match to get back on track. We have two home game, them and then Montreal on Wednesday. So yeah, let's get 6 points out of that.
And the
Yeah,
name
I
you were
am.
looking for, Seba, was Emil Forsberg.
Thank
Emil
you. It's
Forsberg.
the first name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one. I will probably be watching it on my iPad from San Francisco International Airport, but I'll be cheering on and hopefully I can get it on the plane. But yeah, I looking forward to this game. Get back to our winning ways, get back to some home games, get back some guys healthy. So looking forward to it. So yeah, let's wrap this up. Seba, it coming up July 21st to the 24th, your summer camp. How's everything looking?
It's looking good. We have, a little bit of kids. We could have get more, but it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna enjoy, make some connection with those kids and, having fun trying to make them progress and try to share my love of the game. But yeah, it'll be fun. What a great, hopefully great week. Hopefully sunny and, you know, little
Oh,
soccer by the shore. It's always fun.
yeah, and hopefully you get some beach time. Adam,
Yes.
Hotbirds,
Uh,
any
they
update?
well, they play tonight, so by probably the time anyone hears this, they've already played. We have two matchups this weekend. One tonight at home versus the Boston Glory. This is a team that is the best team in our division. They've only lost once this year, so knocking them off will go a long way for us to securing a playoff spot. But the real matchup is this Sunday in up in New York, which I believe it was originally New Rochelle, but I believe we're in another suburb of New York City right now this week, and that will be basically to see who makes the playoffs between New York and Philadelphia. Classic matchup, classic rivalry. So go Hotbirds.
Go Hotbirds. All right, everybody. This was episode number 43, wrapping up everything in the Unionverse. It was a rough week, but we will get through it because we get to face Red Bull. Go Union. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you both.